Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to the channel. It's been a while. I feel like I've said that probably one or too many times over the last few months. It's been a lack of videos on my part, but life's got in the way again. But anyway, we're here to talk about the Osmo Action 6 today. So yeah, brand new, picked it up. I was at a shoot earlier on and they had the DJI store close by, so I popped by and picked it up. So before we get going, I just want to quickly unbox it. It's still got the seal on there, you probably can't see because the Action 5 Pro can't focus close distance, which the Action 6 can now do with the macro lens attachment. So let's get it open. See what's in the box. We have the Action 6 Pro itself here, the packaging. Quite a notable difference in size, I'd say. Well, not huge, but if you put them side by side, you can definitely tell the difference between the Action 5 Pro and the Action 6 Pro. A bigger, much bigger sort of lens protection, a lens ring here. Yeah, that's if I hold it up, you won't be able to see because I'm on the Action 5 Pro and it won't be focusing that close. But if you had them side by side, this bit, the lens protection, the lens filter is definitely much larger, bigger OLED screen on the front as well. So yeah. But the good thing is they will have used the same battery. So you've got, say, your batteries for your Osmo 360 or Action 4, Action 5, then they will also fit in here, which is a big plus. Well done, DJI. Stickers, documentation, who needs that? Not me. Now let's see what's in this box. Screw for any mounts you may have with it, useful. What is here? Like Christmas, come early. So this is the mount, the strap, the adhesive mount. That's good, useful. USB-C charging cable and data transfer cable. Good, good, good. And the battery. Obviously, I just said this will work with Action 5, Osmo 360, and what have you. As Action 4 as well. So good. Batteries are and the useful extra batteries. So yeah, that's about it. Okay, so what's new? Let's get straight into it. I'm faffing about what's new with the Action 6. Well, we've got a variable aperture, and this is the first time that we've ever seen this in an action camera, so kudos to DJI for doing this. It's quite a big step up in the action camera market, and the range is f2 to f4. And what does that mean for us? Well, essentially we're going to allow more light to get into the sensor, so we should see an improved a low light performance from the Action 6 compared to, say, the Action 5 or the Action 4 Pro. So having the variable aperture means we're going to get a little bit more creative control as well. So for example, especially if you have the macro lens attached to the Action 6, you'll notice that you can get a little bit of an out of focus background when you're sort of composing your subjects. For example, let's say you're focusing on a plant or whatever you might be, and then you'll just notice the background has a little bit more out of focus. So that's a nice upgrade there. Especially, but the macro lens does cost a pretty penny. I think it's over £100 or something here in the UK, so not cheap. So if you're wanting that for close-up shots, be prepared to spend the bucks. Another big upgrade, or relatively big upgrade you could say, is that we now have a larger sensor. We have a 1/1.1 inch CMOS sensor in the Action 6, and square sensor should I say. So that means you're going to get a little bit more flexibility when it comes to composing, because you're going to be shooting sort of, if you use the custom aspect ratio, you'll be shooting at sort of a square aspect ratio, so you can crop nice vertical video or horizontal video. So that's quite a nice addition there. And I'm not sure if it's the same, but we now have 13.5 stop to dynamic range, so there you're going to capture a little bit more dynamic range from this camera compared to previous models. So a nice upgrade, and nothing spectacular. As we know, it's only a small little sensor in the Action 6 Pro, should I say. But yeah, looking forward to testing out these. Some of us were wishing there might be 8K video included in the Action 6 Pro, but unfortunately not. We are still limited to 4K, but that's absolutely fine. We don't need 8K necessarily. The files will be huge, and for a little action camera like this or the Action 6, there's no need. 4K at the moment works perfectly fine. You might think differently. Let me know down in the comments, see what you think. We also have the normal Rocksteady 3.0 in the Action 6 Pro, and which is the same as the Action 5 Pro. So nice, stable, smooth shots there. Another big plus is that we now get 50 gigabytes of inbuilt storage. So say goodbye to the SD cards. If you need a quick solution, or you forget your SD cards, 50 gigabytes is probably more than enough for a day shooting on a little action camera like this. So that is quite a nice little. What did we have on the Action 5 Pro? Was it 42 or 48? Can't remember exactly, but any onboard storage is definitely a big bonus for an action camera. For example, the Go Ultra from Insta360 doesn't have any onboard storage, which is slightly annoying considering the type of camera it is, but yeah. So the Action 6, 50 gigabytes onboard storage, nice to have. So obviously we still have Osmo audio with the Action 6, so you get a whole variety of mics that can connect directly to the Osmo 6. So you've got the Mic 3, the Mic Mini, and the DJI Mic 2 as well. So plenty of options there for audio if you don't want to use the onboard audio capabilities, which are pretty solid. I must say, I'm actually using the Action 5 Pro to film this video, so hopefully the audio is okay. We'll see when I get it onto the computer. But yeah, plenty of audio options for the Action 6. Something that caught my eye actually was this new starburst mode, which kind of supposed to make light sparkle, I guess. Especially when you've got high contrast in, so maybe street lights and then a dark background, then you're going to get a nice little starburst from the lights, or the street lights, or any sort of bright light source. So that's quite a cool feature, and you can change that in the settings. And I think it probably just boosts up the aperture a bit to maybe f4, and yeah, so you'll get those aperture rings will be closing in a little bit. So that's what creates the starburst mode. That's what creates the starbursts. So I mentioned earlier that we have the variable aperture on here, and we have a maximum aperture of f2, which is a whole stop bigger than the Action 5 Pro. That was 2.8, a fixed aperture of 2.8. This is now variable. So again, in super night mode or in low light situations, the f2 is really going to help allow much more light into the sensor. I say much more, going to allow a bit more light into the sensor. So you should see an improved overall quality in low light scenarios. So big bonus there. Of course, my favorite feature in the DJI products is the D-Log M, and 10-bit D-Log M gives you much more flexibility in post for coloring or color grading, color correcting, whatever you want to do. Make sure you adjust all the image settings, for example, reducing the noise and the texture to get the best possible image. I've got plenty of videos about the best settings on the Osmo Action 5, so you can watch that here if you want to. It's a good little video and tell you about just the different settings to use and what you might like to do to improve the image quality when shooting for little action cameras. So if you like shooting in slow-mo, getting a few of those cinematic slow-mo shots, the Action 6 Pro now shoots in 4K 120, which is a nice upgrade. So you're going to really notice the really smooth shots in the slow motion shooting capabilities of this camera. So if you want to get in a little bit closer without the macro lens, then they now have the 2x lossless zoom. So that will just make sure your image remains sort of clear and sharp when you use that, which is a nice feature for the Action 6. New for the Action 6 is this new film tone feature, which essentially, I guess, does a little bit of color grading in camera. And if you've watched any of my previous videos, then you'll see that I quite like to play around with the colors, making it look a bit more filmic, my videos, especially with my DJI products. So yeah, you can choose from a selection of tones, and you can really experiment with the intensities. So I think they range from 30% to 100% intensity, and yeah, you can just have a play around, see what they're like. I'm definitely going to be trying them out. Okay, that's it. A very quick video there on the Action 6 Pro, out today, Tuesday the 18th of November, just checking, yep. A significant upgrade, probably the square sensor is the biggest upgrade. There's going to be plenty more content on the way for about this camera, pushing its limits with color grading and stuff like that. So if you're interested in any of that stuff, give us a follow, give us a subscription, give the video a like, and let me know what you think about the camera down below. I think there is mixed opinions on it, to be honest, and it's not quite the upgrade that some people were hoping for, but I think it's going to be good fun, and that's what matters, hey? So yeah, see you in the next one. Cheers.